Hello, Goddess. Welcome back. This is Andrea with You Are Mind, Body, Soul. And in this temple space, I guide your inner goddess to bridge the mind, body, and soul through psychosomatic education, consciousness reconditioning, as well as alchemy and energetics. Come on in. Welcome back. It's so wonderful to be here in this temple space with you, diving deep once again. Today, we are going to talk about attachment styles and your belief system. I was inspired by this topic recently in the past as I was recapping how my attachment styles have really contributed to my evolution and the ease in which I am able to function in life. I'm not an expert on attachment styles, so I will give you that disclaimer. However, I do have a pre-medical foundation in psychology, and so I'm very familiar with the way that the mind works, and it's very important for me as a guide on this channel to be able to share some of these very important and valuable topics. So you may have heard about attachment style, and what I want to do is dive a little bit into that topic so that we can bring it back into the whole point of this all, which is enjoying life and becoming your most authentic goddess self. So before I get too deeply into this topic, I want to remind you to like this video. I appreciate it so much when you like this video. It means the world to me in exchange for this time that I take to have this temple space with you. Please remember to share this video so that other goddesses such as yourself can receive these transmissions. And please remember to subscribe. If it's your first time on this video, please hit that subscription button. And if you are already subscribed, please remember to ring my bell so that you get notified when I drop this dope content every Monday. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so secure attachment and having a healthy belief system is very important when you are very intentional about the life that you want to live. When you have thought about the life that you want to live, what it looks like, or you have really tuned into that desire. And the reason that your attachment is related to your belief system is because everything is paramount to your belief system. Everything that you are exposing yourself to on a daily basis, the way in which you participate in life through your media exposure, your close relationships, the conversations that you have, the people that are influencing you are all influencing your subconscious mind. And it's important as we get more sophisticated in our inner work that we realize and give honor to the power of the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind governs 95% of our behaviors. And we want to live a life that we have created by intention and not a life that has been given to us by default. And so what that means is working through the limiting factors, whether it be the spiritual things that we incarnated here with, that we were given, that are affecting us, that we don't know about, clouding our energy, forcing us through these cycles, or whether it's things that we are choosing because we're not having these very specific conversations with ourselves about our behavior and our understanding of life and the choices that we make. Okay. And of course, y'all know I have my notes here. All right. So everything is your subconscious programming, and we have the honor and we have the capabilities of asking more about life so that we can really get to the bottom of things and get to the heights of our desire and align with them and self-actualize. Okay. So, what are attachment styles? Your attachment style is essentially the way that you have habitually learned to respond to life based on the type of care that you were given when you were a child by your caregiver or by your parent. So, the way that you are coping and responding to life and your relationships based on the caregiving that you were provided as a child. So everything always comes back to the inner child, and we've had inner child conversations before in the past. Matter of fact, let me put that video, let me link that below, and any other content that I have that's related to inner child. Okay. So there are four main attachment types. The healthy attachment type that we should all be striving for, okay, is when you have trust in yourself and your ability to show up in a healthy way for a relationship, and when you trust in your partner, because attachment styles show up as adults in the form mainly in our romantic relationship and even in our friendship circles as well. Okay. So trusting that you are a healthy person in a relationship and trusting that you are with a healthy person in that relationship. So you have faith and you have confidence in both of those things, because your subconscious system, your subconscious mind is programmed in a way in which you don't have any hangups or any setbacks. And so as a result, you're able to be flexible and you're able to be present with whatever that relational circumstance is showing you, and you don't have to revert to toxic traits or challenging habits that throw you off of balance. Okay, that's the first attachment style. The second attachment style is the avoidant attachment style. Okay, so an avoidant attached person is going to have trust in themselves. They're going to know that they are healthy in relationships, but they're going to have a fear around their partner's ability to show up in a relationship in a healthy manner. And a lot of the times, this shows up from people that were raised in relationships with unstable or insecure caregivers and in challenging environments. And so you end up being in a space where you feel like you can only trust yourself. You feel like the world and the relationships that you have in the world are unsafe because you were taught that you can't trust people. Okay. And I can attest to the fact that I was an avoidant relationship type for a long time. And this is because I just did not feel like I was seen or I was heard. Okay. And this can take you down a path where you're not able to bond in relationships or have trustworthy connections. And so you want to ask yourself, do I avoid intimacy because I fear that other people just do not have their shit together? I grew up on a paradigm where I'm like, okay, everybody's crazy but me. If that sounds familiar to you, you may be an avoidant attachment style. Okay. All right. So then there is the anxious attachment type. All right. So this is the person that's clingy. All right. You need that validation from your partner, from the relationship. You have a fear of being on your own. You need a lot of reassurance. And also a key aspect of someone that has an anxious attachment style is that they really feel like they have to center other people in their world. So instead of avoiding intimacy with others, oftentimes these people avoid intimacy with themselves. And so they find themselves in these relationships where other people are the center of their world. You have trust in the external, and you don't really have trust in yourself, because this anxious type can really feel like whenever I have to go in and I have to face these questionable emotional responses that I'm having, you just are not comfortable in your body, like your nervous system is out of whack. And so you end up worshiping people, you end up worshiping your partner, and you neglect yourself. Okay. And I have also been in those type of relationships as well. These are when you have parenting where you really feel like you need to show and you have to do things like, if you have built your entire career around impressing your parents or finding your parents' approval or even society's approval, because you never feel like you are good enough just being your own authentic self, you probably have this anxious attachment type. Okay. And then the last one is disorganized attachment, which is a combination of insecure and anxious attachment, or anxious and avoidant attachment. So these type of people can be unpredictable. The nervous system is on a fritz. You don't know when to trust yourself or when to trust others. These disorganized people recognize the importance of having intimate relationships, but at the same time, they don't know who to trust. Okay. And this can lead to a lot of psychological issues like borderline personality issues. And it can really put you in a way that keeps you imbalanced. Okay. So the reason that I'm bringing up these topics, and if you like this, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, because I am going to do another video where I take these attachment styles and I bring them into light in other systems in our life. But it's important for us to be aware just at a simple level, like this topic, or you can look at other videos to get more details on these topics, because the way that we attach in relationships, okay, is an influence from our subconscious mind. And when we can shed light on these subconscious patternings, we can then spread that and expand that into other aspects of our life. And it really allows you to outgrow these things that can create challenges for you long term in your intimate relationships. And the most intimate relationship that you are going to have is with yourself. Okay. And then everything else expands outside of this. Okay. But it's important that we are fine-tuning our belief system according to what we need to grow in order to become securely attached and securely connected with our reality. And this is just one lens of perspective that we can take when it comes to how we are interrelating with one another and how we are interrelating with life. Okay. Once you're aware of your subconscious habits, you can become in more control. All right. And your belief system is then going to be able to expand. So your subconscious habits are going to affect and create a feedback loop with your nervous system and with your hormonal system. Okay. I remember taking neuroscience when I was in my undergrad and learning about how the pathways work and how one pathway connects to the other. And so when we are going through these patternings and we are shaping our belief system, we're actually sending commands. Our thoughts, our thought response to these situations are sending commands to our nervous system to tell them to solidify and to be wired in that way. Okay. And so if you find yourself in relationships with people that you feel like you can't trust, but somewhere it is you are aware as a conscious being, as a human being, as a human goddess, you are aware when you are in a relationship where you know that you can trust someone, but your nervous system is telling you not to. And this is because we have to stop and we have to have these conversations with ourselves so that we can support proper and healthy wiring in these cases. Okay. And again, this does not just have to be with your intimate relationships, but it oftentimes comes up in the intimate relationships because you really cannot hide in an intimate relationship. That is where we go to do the work. So once you're able to shed light on these things, you're able to shed light on the rest of everything else that's occurring in your life. And it's going to start with your belief system, and it's going to start with the way that you are attaching. So I hope that you enjoyed this little intro video. Love you, and I will catch you in the next one. One love.